5 high security or laser style automotive keys in the USA today. Now, if you're new into the industry, this is really good information to know. And if you've been in the industry for a while, I'm curious if you can guess what the 5 are. Let's get started. Now, I'm going to be going over the top 5 high security blades, all right? The blades, not necessarily the keys, because these high security blades or laser key blades, they come in all sorts of different options. You can get them in just your standard metal key with plastic head. You can find the blade in a prox key, or you could encounter one that's just a metal headed key with the plastic head on it, or you could find the blade on a prox key or a remote head key. So what we want to do is become familiar with the actual key blades. Because if we can do that, well, when it goes to duplicate or originate, we're gonna really understand what we're doing, and that's gonna make your job much easier. At the same time, it's really important to know what those blades are so you can keep some test keys around. Now, I went ahead and we put together an assortment of all of the keys we're gonna go over, a 5-pack of each, as the chipless, as the JMA chipless keys. That way, they can kind of work 2 different ways for you. They're fairly inexpensive just to try to test out and to duplicate, or you can also use them on a transponder situation where you can take a chip and put it in and use it that way. So it's kind of keeping your inventory condensed at the same time getting the best bang for the buck. Now, I'll put a bunch of links also and just to the random different keys so you can kind of take a look. But with that being said, let's have some fun. Now, before we start with number 5 and work our way to by far the most popular key, let's talk about the ones that didn't make the cut, all right? And there's 2 of them that are right there. And the truth is, these could possibly be in your top 5 depending on your area. So let's talk about them real quick. First up is the Hyundai HY18, and second up is the Kia KK10. Now, the interesting part about these 2 keys is they mimic another key, which we'll be getting into in a minute. And so it's kind of like a 3-for-1 here, but it is important that you know that these 2 exist. So coming in at number 5 is the GM HU100 blade. Now, this is found on a variety of transponder keys, as well as prox keys and alike. And you will also notice that this is a 2-track key. And as you can tell by looking at the blade here, it's actually very simple, which is really nice. You're not gonna have really any sort of clamping issues when cutting it. Coming in at number 4 is the Volkswagen Audi HU66. Now, this is one of the oldest high security blades. It's also a 2-track key. And once again, when you have the right jaw, this is gonna be a pretty easy key to cut. Now, one interesting fact about this key is that it's actually going to be a shoulder stop here. So most high security keys or laser cut keys are a tip stop. This one is actually a shoulder stop there that you can see. Coming in at number 3 is the Ford HU101. Now, not to be confused with number 5, the HU100. This is the HU101. Now, in this example here, this key is also found in a transponder key as well, the H92. But if you look here, this is gonna be the exact same blade as the HU92, but it's gonna be inside of this prox key here, all right? So the blade's the same, just the application is different, and as you can see, there's a nice little spot for it right inside there, kinda top secret. Coming in at number 2 is the Lexus LXP90. Now, this is one of the oldest high security laser style keys that has been on the market. So there's actually a lot of these that don't have transponder keys in them at all that are still out there in the wild today. Now, in this example, this is going to be a remote head key. Now, the good news is this is also just another real kind of a simple profile. And as I had mentioned earlier, is that the HY18 and the KK10, they're essentially the same exact key. So you get familiar with the LXP90 and you find yourself on a HY18 or KK10, you're going to be duplicating it or using the jaw and setting it up for origination essentially the exact same way. So this is a good one to get very familiar with. Now, coming in at number 1, which is probably a key you've been waiting for, is the Honda HO01. Now, not only is this key number 1 on the top 5 list, but I tell you what, if we were to make a list of the biggest pain keys, well, this Honda key, this same exact Honda key, is probably gonna be number 1 on that list as well. Now, the good news is once you really start to get familiar and understand this key, you'll be able to identify a lot of the problems pretty quickly. And once you start to gain some experience, it's not the end of the world. But at first, if you're new, this is a key that you wanna just duplicate, okay? You wanna get a cut key and you just wanna duplicate it, you wanna learn it, you wanna take an ignition apart and really get familiar with it because it will pay dividends as you start working on this key as time goes. All right, so this is what the key looks like. Now, this is just gonna be a remote-headed Honda key here, but of course the HO01 and HO03 and HO05, everything also uses this same exact key. All right, so there you have it. Now, the good news is I put that assortment together. I'll put a link in the notes section. You can check it out. You want to get very, very familiar with all 5 of these keys if you plan on doing current automotive work or even just automotive high security laser style key duplication. That is something that you want to familiarize yourself with these 5 keys. And another good thing is that I'll put a link in the notes below. You can check them out. And they're the videos on just the standard transponder keys, but I actually go through and I show you how to duplicate each one. So if you just use a standard manual style key duplicator, well, guess what? These videos will be really helpful if you're not familiar. But I would love to know, did you get all 5 right? Is there any that surprised you that are on this list? In your area with your experience, do you feel like maybe 1 or 2 were missing? I would absolutely love to know in the comments below. And make sure that you include the hashtag LockBoss to automatically get entered in to win one of 5 free prizes we give away each week here on YouTube. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.